I'm Jacquie Fine. I lost my son Jesse to an overdose in January of last year. When I proposed this service to JP, he was very supportive of it, for which I'm very grateful. What I failed to consider was that I'd probably need to get up and speak tonight. I'm very protective of Jesse's memory, and how do I tell my story without sharing parts of his? I hope I've found that balance in what I'm going to share tonight. 15 years ago, when our journey began, people did not talk about addiction in the ways we do today. It's still not great, but we are certainly getting better at it. When we first realized Jesse was not going through a teenage phase, that he had a really serious problem, we tried literally everything to help him. Nothing we were doing seemed to be helping, though, and in some ways our helping was just making things worse. We didn't truly understand what we were dealing with. We were naive about what addiction really was. It was incredibly frustrating because as a mother, I was sure I could fix this. That's what moms do. Yet nothing seemed to work. In 2007, I ended up joining a Nar-Anon group and an Al-Anon group. I was hedging my bets. 2 groups would be better than 1, I thought. I was desperate. Someone had to help me save him. In the beginning, I didn't speak at meetings. I just sat there and I cried. It was just such a relief to be with people that understood, who didn't judge me, and who welcomed me. They made me realize I could not save him, that he had to save himself. That is not something you want to hear. And yet it's really how recovery works. We could support recovery, but we could not force it on him. Some of the people that were in my first meetings are still my friends today. They've held me up through the years, and I love them for it. Jesse went to rehab for the last time in 2012. He began attending NA almost daily, sometimes twice a day in the beginning. Over the years, he had sponsors, did his step work, chaired meetings, and was involved in the greater NA community. He had great support from his NA group. When I'd ask him if everything was okay, he'd say, "Don't worry, Mom. I have my NA men." I would worry because by then I had a clear understanding of addiction and how it tries to draw you back in. For almost 6 years, we had our son back. He rebuilt his life, had a job he liked, paid his bills, did all the things you want for your child. But addiction is cunning and it's powerful, and he put a relationship before his recovery. He relapsed and it ended up taking his life. I don't think Jesse intended to die. I think he just wanted to numb the pain he was feeling. When Jesse died, his father and I decided we would be honest in his obituary. We mentioned that he died from a relapse. People said we were brave. Maybe we were. I just know I was tired of sending sympathy cards to other mothers, and I was tired of attending funerals of people that died far too young. A week after Jesse's service, I was at yet another of his high school friends' funeral services. It was crushing. John had signed Jesse's funeral book just days before he himself died, but I had to go for his mom. I knew exactly how she was feeling. I thought that after Jesse died, I'd be free of all things addiction. No more meetings, no more advocating, no more addiction. I was just so done with all of it. However, it seemed that God had other plans for me. As much as I fought off his promptings, I kept being presented with opportunities to share my experience with people. I was kind of annoyed, frankly, because I just wanted some peace. I was not feeling very close to God. I wasn't mad at him. I just felt very far away from him over Jesse's death, and now he seemed to be sending me in a direction I did not want to go. Many people had spoken to me at Jesse's funeral service and told me all the ways he had helped them, not just people in recovery, but coworkers and friends outside of recovery. He shared very honest insights into himself and his story with them, and that helped them see a different perspective on situations they were dealing with. So I began to think maybe that's how I honor him. Maybe everything I've been through can be used for good. Maybe I continue to advocate and do what I can to help families. I take all of it, use it to make a difference. And in doing so, I honor Jesse. So I spoke to JP about using the church to start a meeting for families, and that's how Mountaintop Cares began. Jesse was one of 169 people that died in Luzerne County in 2018. We know there are hundreds of families in our area dealing with active drug use. I know we can do better as a community to work together to help and support those families and to fight the stigma associated with addiction. Over the years, I've been involved with recovery walks and other events, but I was thinking maybe people would like something a little more low-key, more solemn, more connected to faith. I'm lucky to have wonderful friends willing to go along with my ideas and help with the planning. I can't thank them enough for helping with this service this evening.